All right, 8.6 Solving Linear Systems by Elimination Day 2. Who can remember from yesterday's notes? What's different about today? What are we going to do? What are we going to add to today that we didn't do yesterday? We're going to add the multiplying step. Exactly. So I can use algebraic reasoning, simple substitution, and the properties of real numbers to solve a system of linear equations. All right, I can use algebraic reasoning in today's substitution. I'm going to write this bigger, the first one that we go over together. We have 3x plus y equals 9. And again, today, 12x plus 4y equals 36. All your problems today will be lined up for you. All your x variables will be in a column. All your y's will be in a column. And all your, what do you call numbers that are by themselves? Constants are all by themselves. All right, just like yesterday. But however, yesterday we would have been able to just start and cancel out either the x's or the y's or both, right? Well, now we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to multiply. And you're going to have to multiply either the top equation or the bottom equation. One of the equations you're going to have to multiply. Because right now there's nothing we can cancel out. Now there might be more than one way to do this. How many ways? What could I change here? What do I need to change? And remember, their coefficients have to be opposite signs. We have to have a positive and a negative for them to cancel out. Could I change the 3x into a 12x somehow? How? If I times it by 4, if I took it times 4, I'd have 12x. Would they cancel out then? Nope, we'd have 24x, right? So it would have to be a negative 4. So let's multiply everything in that first equation times a negative 4. So we have to take a negative 4 times the first term, which is 3x. What is a negative 4 times 3x? A negative 12x. Now we don't just do one term, we have to multiply every single term in the equation. So a negative 4 times a plus 1y is what? A negative 4y. And that equals, a lot of people will forget to multiply the constant. You can't forget that constant. What's a negative 4 times a positive 9?
Negative 36.
Good, a negative 36. So now I'm going to use these two equations. And it's just like we did yesterday now. What can I cross out now?
12x, 4y.
Wow, that ended up making my positive 12x, my negative 12y. Those cancel out. My plus 4y, negative 4y, those cancel out. So what does that leave me on this side of the equal sign? 0. All my variables canceled out, so we know we have two possibilities for answers. They're going to either be parallel or the same line. If they're parallel, what will our answer be? No solution. If it's the same line, infinitely many. Well, what do we have left over here? What's 36 minus 36?
0.
So that is true. 0 equals 0. Same on each side, same line. So it is infinitely many solutions. Right? B. Again, I want to write this bigger. X, I'm going to go 1x. I want to change this one a little bit. Plus 2y. No, actually we'll do this one. I'm going to do the first problem in your homework today with you though. 1x plus 2y equals 8, and then the next one is 3x minus 1y equals 17. Options here. What can I multiply by? What could be some ways that we could change an equation so one of our variables or both of our variables cancel out?
Multiplied by negative 3.
Which one by negative 3?
The 1x.
We could take this whole line, this whole equation times a negative 3. That would work. Absolutely it would work. But your neighbor might not do that. They might see something else. Instead of taking that one times a -3, they might decide to change this one. How could they change this one? We could actually take this one times a +2. Because a +2 times a -1 is a -2y. So we could do it that way, and the y's would cancel out. Either way, you're all going to come out with the same answer. All right? So which one do you want to do? Should we just do this one since it's up here? Or do you want to take this one times the -3? Okay, we'll do the -3. Let's multiply this. Remember, all terms times the -3. So what is a -3 times a +1x? -3x. And -3 times a +2y? -6y. And that equals a -3 times 8 equals what? -24. Now we combine those two equations. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. I want you to hold up your ordered pair answer on the board, on your whiteboards for me, please. All right, here we go. For those of you that still need some steps on this. Now we're looking at these two equations, my +3x, my -3x. Those cancel. Now I have a -1y and a -6y. What is that? Fight or unite? Does it unite? We get a -7y equals +17, -24. Fight or unite?
Fight.
Who wins?
24,
-24 by 7. When you subtract them, divide both sides by a -7. Y equals a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So is that my first or my second?
Second.
My second, our ordered pair number is 1. Now I go up here into one of my originals. I put 1 in for the y, right here. Put a 1 in there. Now, 1x plus, what's 2 times 1?
2.
Equals 8. So now I'm going to rewrite that over here. 1x plus, well, 2 times 1 is 2 equals 8. What do I have to do to solve that? Subtract 2 to both sides. Now I have 1x equals, well, what's 8 minus 2? 6. So 1x or x, our x is a 6. So our final answer is 6 and 1. You can see it on the screen up here, though. It'll be okay. Letter C. I'll give you a couple minutes on your own to come up with your answer for letter C. Hold that up, please. This is split about half and half. I love debates. The debate in the classroom is about half of them have no solution and the other half infinitely many. So that tells me that you had both of your variables disappear on you, canceled each other out. So let's see, I'm assuming that you took this top one times what? A -3. So a -3 times a +2x turns into a -6x. -3 times a -5y turns into a
+15.
It does, a +15y. And then a -3 times a +8 turns into a
-24.
Now, what happens? Here's our two new equations that we're using. Combine those. What happens here? +6x, -6x?
Cancel.
Canceled. -15y, +15y. Cancels out. Oh, I have 0 left on this side of the equation. -24 and a -24 is?
-48.
A -48. Therefore, the winners are no solution.
You changed it.
Yeah.
No solution was the answer. Be proud who had it. Legit.
No, you changed it.
I changed it like 4
Legitimately.
months ago.
All right, last one. because it's number 1 in your homework packet. Let's do number 1 in your homework packet. Because these you had to multiply by a -2 or a 3 or something else. Well, sometimes you don't have to think so hard, all right? Look at your number 1. You've got the original one. Is yours a -2x, your original?
Yeah.
Okay, -2x minus 9y equals a -25. And then you have a -4x minus 9y equals a -23. All right? Now, some people think too hard and go, oh, we have to take this times a +2, right? If I take this times, or not, excuse me, a -2. If I take this times a -2, that'll turn into a +4x and cancel it out. Would that work? Yes, absolutely it would. But me, I'm going to go here and I'm going to look. Oh, hey, look at here. I already have, my y's have the same coefficient. The only problem is they have the same what? Sign. So instead of doing a -2 or a 3 or whatever, multiply one of the equations times what?
1.
Close.
-1.
A -1. Which one do you want to do, the top or the bottom?
Top one.
Okay, let's take the top one times the -1. That turns this into a +2. That turns this into a +9. And it turns this into a +25 when we do our multiplying. That's pretty easy when you just have to change all the signs. Now what do we have? That's a +2x minus 4x.
-2x.
Great. It's a fight. Negative wins. A -2x. These canceled out. A -2x equals what? It's a +25, -23. Fight or unite? Who wins?
The positive by 2.
Great. So positive by 2. Now to finalize this equation, divide by a -2. X equals -1. So first or second number in our ordered pair?
First.
So we have a -1. All right, let's go up here, use an original. What do you want to use? -2 times x, which is a -1 now. Well, that's the original. Minus 9y equals a -25. It's a -2 times a positive, or -2 times a -1. +2 minus 9y equals a -25. Minus 2 to both sides. Now I have a -9y equals, close, to unite, a -27, because we unite. 25 and 2 is 27. Divide by a -9. Our y equals what? A +3. Like I told you, in your homework today, you will get all whole number answers. No fractions or decimals, or you did something wrong. Okay, so pages 3 and 4 in your homework today.